Now, if you live in Florida, you know that the farming industry is very big in Florida. Matter of fact, there's over 44,000 farms in Florida. But do you know what the first farm in Florida was? Well, if you didn't, don't worry. I did some digging. Let's get into it. Now look, before we get too, deep into this, we gotta understand something that the natives, the first ones to touch foot, down here in Florida, they were farming before, anybody. Matter of fact, the hunter-gatherers, they came here looking for bigger game, but they wanted to settle here in Florida because the land was perfect for farming. Now look, you can say, yes, that they were the first farmers, but these aren't really farms, all right? They just planting, fruits and vegetables to take care of their tribe, their family, and stuff like that. They ain't really like feeding everybody and selling it. But yes, they were the first farmers. Now look, we're gonna fast forward just a little bit, all right? Anytime after 1513, when Ponce got here, the whole, farming thing changed up a little bit. And let me explain to you why. Now, when Ponce, all right, got here and he, decided to, bring his men here too, he said, look, we're gonna need, food, all right? So go ahead and grab some of them Native Americans and have them teach y'all how to plant on this land. So, the natives, they would, out of kindness, show the Spaniards how to grow stuff on this land. And real Christopher Columbus style, Ponce was like, look, all right, we got it. Y'all got it? Take them out. Now, look, I read this somewhere, and I don't really know how true it is. So all my, historian people, drop it in the comments. And don't worry about this picture. I'm just using this picture. But it was said that Ponce, okay, would raid a lot of these tribes, all right, just to take their farmland because they couldn't figure it out. They couldn't grow stuff the same way that the natives did. And it's also said that DeSoto, when he got to Florida on the West Coast, he did the same thing. They couldn't grow crops like the natives, so they would just steal the farmland. Now, as we move forward, all right, over the next couple of 100 years, most of the farms, all right, were ran by slaves. Now look, this ain't nothing new to us, all right? But the slaves didn't only just pick cotton. They pretty much were prepping the land, doing all the planting, watching over the crops, everything. So at this time in American history, the farmers were all slaves. I'm gonna be real. These plantations were making a lot of money because as the demand for more crops, more produce, whatever it is, coming out of Florida, made it a bigger demand for more slaves. So a lot of these plantations, they would have like an enormous amount of slaves running these farms. But this is Philip and Mary Dudley, all right? In 1852, they moved down here to Florida to Alachua County and purchased some land to start a farm. Now, in 1859, they named this farm the Dudley Farm. But before that, it was named something else, and there were people working here, all right? But when the Dudleys came in, things changed for them because they gave them compensation. They didn't really want slaves working the farm. Now, that's the thing about Philip and Mary, all right? They had a whole bunch of kids, all right? A lot of them. And the thing about it is that they knew that when their kids get older, that they was going to work this farm. And that's exactly what they did. So instead of them hiring a whole bunch of people to actually, work the farm for them, he just got his family to do it. Smart idea. See, the thing about Philip was a hard worker, all right? And he told his oldest son, he said, look, when I'm out of here, all right, I'm going to need you to run this farm for me. So you need to learn everything that I know so you can run this farm. Now, look, I don't 100% know if this is correct, but I read this in an article about the people that were working here after 1865, because slavery was over in Florida after 1865. Well, it wasn't, but y'all know what I'm talking about. So Philip goes to the workers and says, look, y'all can stay, or I'll pay y'all even more if y'all want to stay here and work this land and help us out. And a lot of them stayed. They were comfortable here, and they were feeding their family. Now, when Philip was running the farm, all right, it was just the farm. They were, planting things and, they were out there working it, making sure that the crops were coming in, taking care of the animals, things like that. But when Philip passed away, his son took over, just like he wanted him to. But his son added more things to the farm to help bring in more profit. Now, I believe at the time, he only added a smokehouse and like a slaughterhouse or something like that. And so they actually could, slaughter meat and they could smoke it right here on the farm. Now look, there's a lot of information about this place and I'm leaving out a lot, okay? I'm just giving y'all the gist. But if you want to find out more about this place, it's a state park. You can go anytime. So if you're in the Alachua County area, pull up. Now, look, I want to say this before I get out of here, okay? We should all, support our Florida farmers, all right? So if you're near a, farmer's market, grab something. If there's farms that sell their, produce and everything right at the farm, go to the farm and purchase their stuff instead of going to the grocery store. But the more you know, book dropping soon. Peace.